cotton and durian are actually related, like two peas in a pod. Look at their fruit. Besides size and alkalinity, the spatial layout of the lobes is exactly the same. Durian is expensive. Cotton, however, gives people a very approachable feeling. However, in ancient times, for a long time, ordinary people couldn't afford cotton. Moreover, its widespread adoption came much later than we imagined. The most amazing thing is, what about the sexualization of plants? Each will have a separate starting point. For example, tomatoes. Never mind the embroidery process. What's Mr. Smoked Deer like? In short, it originated in the Americas. Cotton, on the other hand, is completely incompatible. It is not a species. Instead, it refers to multiple species that were independently domesticated in various locations. There are more than 50 species of potato. As a plant of the family Hymenaceae, their fruits are called large fruits. It will crack after it matures. Durian will open a blind box containing fruit pulp. Cotton does not contain pulp, only white seed hairs. What is the function of these seed hairs? It's actually similar to dandelion. It is to let the seeds drift on the wind. Global communication. Let's look at wild species such as the Darwinian cotton. These thin cotton balls. This will help us better understand the uses of seed hairs. Although wild cotton doesn't appear to have thick hair. But what about the microstructure of the seed hairs of the Gossypium genus? There's actually a hidden meaning. They are fibroblasts, cell walls left after death. Formed. The cellulose content reaches a basic 95. The width of a single fiber. It is exactly the width of the cell. Flat, band-like structures appear. It has a tube in the middle like a straw. This gives cotton its excellent heat-retaining properties, because cotton itself is also constantly and naturally twisting. The fibers can easily entangle with each other. One of the lines of defense. The Book of Foolish Old Man, written during the Warring States period, states, Island Barbarian Association. Outstanding bandit. Kai Chun of Suanai explained, what about the residents of Hainan Island? Wearing huefu. This garment is made of kapok. For a considerable period of time, the ancients were like that. I can't tell the difference between kapok and cotton at all. Kapok is a type of plant that ancient people used to describe two kinds of plants from the camellia family. A general term for confusion. What is the kapok in spoken language now? It is a hanging ornamental tree of the family Chordata. That is, kapok flower. The kapok tree in spring is the symbol of China Southern Airlines, also known as panzahua. Although kapok, it can also produce the initial structure of cotton. However, kapok fibers are very short. It's not really suitable as a textile material. What about the residents of Hainan Island? Another type of cotton is also needed. It's called tree cotton, also known as Asian cotton. Its fibers are longer. It can be used to spin yarn and weave cloth. Tree cotton also belongs to several trees, one tree. It is a few of a single cotton species. It originated from the Indian subcontinent. The year lives up to its name. The tree cotton plant is quite tall. It can grow to more than 2 meters. Moreover, it is a perennial cotton. What about Bangladesh now? There is also an excellent variety of bodhi tapas. You can make one fabric called Chechen plain cell. It was very popular among European nobles in the 18th century. Plain cotton fabric has a 5,000-year history of domestication. And 2,000 years ago, it was introduced to southwestern my country from Myanmar. The book of the later Han Dynasty also sent letters to the Tibet region. Say, I love Lao San? There's actually no water monster. And what about the people here? They will also imitate a flawless white fabric. In 1978, archaeologists at Fujian Provincial Museum, in the records of the Huaishan Cave Association in Chong'an County, a piece of bluish-gray cotton cloth was discovered. Its material is cotton. According to the forgetting curve, cotton traveled north and then spread throughout the country. Everyone has new clothes to wear. But what about the smaller areas not long after? cotton seeds were also discovered, whether it is climate or geography. Jumping from the Indian subcontinent to the western regions. It's so inconvenient. Why is cotton from the western regions? It appeared earlier than the Jiangnan and Central Plains regions. This is strange. How is the transmission process implemented? The reason is simple. That's cotton from the western regions. It's not tree cotton at all. Instead, it originated in Africa, and cotton in the Arab region. The grass cotton plant is relatively short because it comes from Africa. African cotton. They were domesticated in Africa 4,000 years ago because he is drought-resistant, growth and shortening. After being introduced from Central Asia, it is very suitable for cultivation in Xinjiang. In 1959, Eastern Han Dynasty tombs discovered in Minfeng County, Xinjiang. They discovered cotton trousers and handkerchiefs. Suming was more than 1,700 years ago. In the Xizang area, cotton has already begun to be planted. Liang Shuzhui, who entered the history of the northern and southern dynasties in the early Tang dynasty. Northwest such as Tokyo Street Road. High ginseng fruit. How about it? Many plants, trees, stones, and alkali. Jianzong thought carefully and named it Baiziezi. Chinese composers consider it not. Cloth kidney soft white intercourse, world use words. The Gaochang Kingdom was located in the county-level region of Turpan. There is a kind of herbaceous plant here. It produces something like silkworm alkali. One could extract something similar to insomnia from it, named white disc. At the same time, cotton cloth from the southwest region also had exchanges with the Central Plains. Tang monk Dao Sima once quoted, 9 people, including Zhang Bo and Wu Luyun, were introduced to the county. It is called White Rose. This Ninh County, located in what is now northwestern Thanh Hoa, Vietnam. In ancient times, poor people couldn't afford silk and fur. They can only wear clothes made of hemp. Some of this hemp comes from Juma. Some come from cannabis. And then there's the sesame seed cake. This one is also from the Department of Spinal Cord Training. Soft leaves. I can't find toilet paper outside. It can be used to wipe your bottom. But clothes made from hemp fiber. But it is very rough. Not only skin smoothing. The color is also not nice. Back then, whenever the word cloth was mentioned, it must refer to linen. Compared to these bad habits, White Daddy is. It's like a dream. Du Fu described it as having soft, dark hair. The white of cotton cloth is expressed by the word bright gold. Bai Ji also said that nobility is not as white as snow, soft as clouds, not loose and thick, only seeking residual warmth. Mistakes and incompetence come to an end. Night returns to the year of sinking. Who knew the scorching winter month? Limbs warm as spring. What happens after putting on the cotton padded coat? It gives a feeling of warmth in spring. It can be seen that cotton has a free performance month. From the Han Dynasty to the Tang Dynasty, cotton has always been an important economic crop in Xinjiang. Residents of Gaochang, they frequently traded cotton cloth and oriental varieties. The Tang government. They even exported more expensive silk in exchange for cotton cloth. Maybe they found it troublesome later. They conveniently destroyed the Gaochang Kingdom. Even the nobles in the evening hall. Let's just collect all the scraps and cotton fabric. Although during the Song Dynasty, cotton has already been used in small-scale rice dumpling making, but the price is still very high. Zizi Tong Jian. The latter is secondary. Speaking of Ma Shifan, the king of Chu during the 5 dynasties and 10 kingdoms period, using cotton cloth as a carpet in winter? That's too extravagant. What about the Yuan dynasty? The rulers at the time vigorously promoted cotton cultivation. The planting area of cotton has gradually expanded northward, arrived in the Jiangnan region. The study of cotton regeneration in agricultural and mulberry-based medicinal cotton records the use of cotton regeneration techniques. Vaccine administration. The entire process of drying flowers after a disaster. Although there are only over 300, everyone must be curious. How does cotton become cloth? We know weaving requires thread. To show everyone the process of creating the cotton edge, I took apart my own quilt to demonstrate for everyone. First, we need to fluff the cotton. A bow is needed to fluff cotton. I happen to have a bow. Vibration of the bowstring. Fluff the cotton as much as possible. Then we picked out a little bit. Rotate continuously during the pulling process. Control the speed. You'll find out. From the cotton ball, a continuous cotton thread will gradually emerge. How can we automate this process further? All you need to do is make one. Add a circular counterweight to the stick. First, stick out a thread end, tied to a stick. Let the stick rotate vertically downwards. This stick. It will automatically complete the rotation of cotton. The work of storing cotton thread. This is the spindle. It already appeared 20,000 years ago. Whether it's cotton, linen, or wool, both can be made into thread using a spindle. But what if we do this? Embroidery in the middle, with continuous application of glue. The spindle can only rotate 120 times per minute. Extremely inefficient. We lay the spindle horizontally to make a nail, and make large rope wheels to serve as gearboxes. Each rotation of the rope wheel, the nail will spin wildly for 5,080 revolutions. It can reach 5,002, 400 revolutions per minute. This is a hand-cranked spinning wheel. If we delegate this hand-cranking process to our feet, it became a foot-operated spinning wheel. The famous textile scientist Huang Daopo. He was originally from Wenzhou, Songjiang, Shanghai. Later, due to domestic violence, he came to Hainan, Asia. Hainan can be considered the Silicon Valley of China's textile industry. He studied textile technology here for over 30 years. Later, he returned to his hometown. Discovery. Shanghai's textile technology lags far behind Hainan's. Still in the stage of hand-cranked motorhomes. And what about the local textile technology? To carry out an industrial revolution, it is said that he turned a hand crank into a foot pedal. This frees up your hands. The number of nails was increased from 1 to 3. It became a 3-fixed foot-operated cotton spinning wheel. It turns out that people need cotton for their hands. Remove the seeds from the cotton. Mrs. Huang only improved the cotton pressing machine. This greatly improves the efficiency of separating cottonseed and cotton. Originally, people used a small tool called a foot to fluff cotton. It was then upgraded to a 4-foot-long master craftsman. Let the Yangtze River Delta Basin. It became an important cotton-producing area during the Yuan dynasty. Songjiang Sangchuan is as sweet as rain. The canals below were all preserved in 3 parts. China's cotton spinning technology at that time. It has also reached the world's leading level. From the great industry, after the revolution, only then were they surpassed by other technologies. During the Ming and Qing dynasties, the planting area of cotton grass. After passing through Gansu, we arrived in Shaanxi. Meanwhile, plain cotton also spread to Hunan and Shandong. It is said that the Yellow River is the mother river of the north. But it happens to be a mother river with a very volatile temper. The entire Huanghui region. He was the one wielding the whip up and down. Giant delta formed by sweeping fire. This has led to severe soil salinization. Rice and soybeans, for example, prefer acidic soil. It simply cannot be grown well in saliny-alkali soil. However, cotton is actually quite resistant to salt and alkali. In various abandoned poverty, SOFA land planting. Do not encroach on the basic market of other crops. So, my childhood friend Chongba. Vigorously promote cotton planting. All land. Between 5 and 10 mu. You have to plant half an acre each of mulberry, cotton, and mulberry trees on average. If you don't plant, you have to water it with a bolt of cotton cloth. Besides being resistant to salt and alkali, another advantage is that cotton can be grown, at least in our area. Uneven planting. Instead, there are large gaps between the left and right sides of the plant, because its root system is deep. What about other crops with shallow root systems? no increase in nutrients. Therefore, intercropping can be done in cotton fields. For example, soybeans. Peanuts are intercropped with watermelons. When I was a child, I sneaked into my neighbor's cotton field. They use watermelons and cotton to shade themselves at their house. It was a shady spot. Enjoy a refreshing bite of watermelon from beneath the cotton fields. That taste. This is someone I wouldn't trade even for a president. Cotton during the celebrity era. Finally, it achieved a very high adoption rate, reaching ordinary people's homes, whether it's domestically or internationally. Clothing, food, housing, and transportation. Chungdai's cotton textile industry. These are all important handicraft projects. The first industrial revolution. Several industries have risen rapidly. They are metal processing, steam engines, coal industry, and textile industry. Britain attacked itself in 1764. James Hargreaves invented the realistic sand simulating machine. One machine can produce 8 strands of cotton thread at the same time. Real sandblasting machine. The cotton thread in the house is not strong. In a very short time, various improved sand-making machines. It came out like the Calabash brothers stepping on his shoulder. In 1767, John Kay invented the sander. The imitated cotton thread was stronger. 1769. Charles Alec invented the water-saving sand control machine. 1779. Semilk Rampton invented the walking sandproof machine. In 1794, Eli Whitney improved the cotton pressing machine. Via the hooks on the roller, it can separate cotton seeds and cotton more efficiently. Everything happened so naturally. With the development of the times. Fried cotton and plain cotton. Nutrition will be transformed by the melody of hybridization. More varieties appeared, just like soybeans and corn now. However, healthy species are not limited to Africa. Only these old hybrid deer in Asia have. Cotton locks have more than 50 species, widely distributed around the world. In Asia and Africa, there are 10 types of cotton, including Somali Greenland cotton. Australia has Lupinson-style cotton and Australian cotton. 18 kinds of cotton, including stem and stem cotton. Even the small Hawaiian Islands. Hawaiian cotton is also available. The Galapagos Islands have Darwin cotton. As for the Americas, there are too many terrifyingly strange numbers here. Not only are there potatoes and sweet potatoes with explosive yields, in the Tehuacan Valley of Mexico, there is also a type of cotton with a 5,000-year history. Upland cotton means not only Asians cultivate and utilize cotton. What about the indigenous people of Jumeirah? It is also independently repeating a similar historical process. Although they're looms, still the original enchantress. It can't compare to our large-scale textile machines. Exercise approximately 2 million years ago. A single African cotton boll somehow drifted to the Americas. Crossbreeding with local Raymond's cotton. Formation of tetraploid upland cotton. Upland cotton has 52 chromosomes. Not only are they physically strong and have high yields, the fiber length of tree cotton and grass cotton, only 1,424 millimeters. The quality is rather coarse and hard. The fiber length of upland cotton, between 24 and 33 millimeters. Fine fibers, also known as fine cotton. A casual slab is the limit of the Old World cotton. Since the Industrial Revolution, cotton spinning efficiency greatly improved. Cotton production is actually falling short of demand. The rapid rise of the American cotton industry. It has become the world's largest cotton producer. Zhang Dongdu in 1892. He established a machine-woven fabric factory in Wuchang, Hubei, and textile factories. He discovered that this had led to the development of British textile machinery. It always breaks when it's spinning at Shisha. The engineer at the time, Morris, said, "Crocodile cotton fibers are just too short. It is recommended to introduce American varieties. And this American cotton is actually a type of upland cotton. Who knows? Once the tree cotton and grass cotton fall out of season, it's for life. After the promotion of upland cotton planting, whether domestic or international, upland cotton accounts for over 90% of the total cotton production. Tree cotton is only in India. Small-scale cultivation also exists in Myanmar and other countries. There is almost no such person as Chow Mian. As for the second-ranked item, it's Sea Island cotton. It originated in Oval and Peru. It has a cultivation history of over 5,000 years. Annual production is 600,000 to 1 million tons, accounting for 8% of the world's cotton production. Seaweed cotton is also a type of tetraploid cotton. Its cotton fiber length. It starts at 35 millimeters in length. The seaweed that grows in the attraction. Average length is over 50 millimeters. Seaweed cotton fibers are delicate and have a silky sheen. Therefore, it is also called long staple cotton, although the performance is good. However, the yield of long staple cotton is low. It has high requirements for light and water. Harvesting is heavily reliant on manual labor. What is the current situation in our country? Xinjiang is particularly suitable for growing long staple cotton. Under Condition 1, the length can reach 64 millimeters. It has 1/4 of the world's long staple cotton production. Capital has become the main manager now. Many vendors confuse the names of upland cotton and seaweed cotton. So much so that we have to buy extra long staple cotton. Only then can you find seaweed cotton. In today's era of advanced synthetic fiber materials, you might think fail and flute. Static wheels can also be used to make clothes. Cotton cloth has become dispensable. But what about the function of cotton? It's not just about making clothes. For example, the cottonseed that was previously picked out. Although cotton cultivation, it has a history of thousands of years. But what about people? Until the 19th century, only then did I begin to realize the value of cottonseed. Because cotton seeds contain a large amount of gossypol. It has reproductive toxicity in humans. What happens after eating it with vinegar? It can also affect the absorption rate of protein. In addition to having a powerful digestive system's reflux force, being able to occasionally eat a cup is basically a matter of gossip and slander. And what about the cottonseed hull? Thick and hard, difficult to handle. The surface still had some leftover lint from the processing. The presentation was also just average, besides leaving some seed. The rest are basically treated as agricultural waste. But watching the show still made them. Later, however, it became an extremely important strategic resource. Black chicken turns into phoenix. What exactly happened in between? As mentioned earlier, Eli Whitney improved the cotton press. This allows humans to collect large numbers of rabbits on a large scale. The Napoleonic Wars began in 1803. 3 years later, Napoleon announced the establishment of the continental system. Essential oils and freedom in continental Europe over 8 years. Oil supply significantly reduced. In addition, the population exploded after the Industrial Revolution. Oil and fat products are in short supply. Back then, many Americans have considered extracting oil from cotton seeds. But what about the limitations of the technology at the time? Unable to efficiently remove the shell. It wasn't until 1857 that William Fy invented the rabbit hulling machine. Solved the problem of rabbit molting. Oil became a best-selling product because of its low price. Oil is one of the byproducts of cotton. Prices fluctuate depending on the cotton processing steps. Moreover, it has a long shelf life. When the temperature is below 10 degrees Celsius, it will also solidify during storage. Therefore, in years of high cotton production, it can easily dominate the market by relying on low prices. During the Second Industrial Revolution, electrical appliances and petroleum have rendered oil lamps obsolete. Then, merchants are thinking of turning rabbitseed oil into an edible product. In the 20th century, cottonseed oil that has only undergone preliminary processing. There are also a large amount of cotton compounds. The color is also reddish or even blackish. If used long-term, cottonseed oil that has only undergone simple processing. It can cause irreversible damage to the reproductive system. When I was a child, I did consume cottonseed oil for a period of time. Looking back, I still think I was lucky. This cottonseed oil has now undergone refining, separating cotton, sold after undergoing a 6-step descaling process and bleaching. The color also turned golden yellow. It has no effect on the human body. Finally, wiping your mouth is free, but it's harmful to animals. But looking at it from the other side, it can also be used as an insecticide. The effect is also good. It is the most effective insecticide among vegetable oils. Cotton and cottonseed. They have now all come into use. It seems cotton is quite valuable. We've already squeezed them dry. But we've missed something. That's when pressing the cotton. Lint and cotton fibers remaining on the cotton. Cotton linters. The longer ones can be used to make blankets and fleece. It sounds like a cheap tie made of regular cotton. But the particularly short cotton fibers. Its purpose is related to killing. As mentioned earlier, cotton fiber is a type of cellulose with extremely high purity. Dissolve cotton linters in a solution of nitric acid and sulfuric acid. This allows you to obtain digestive fiber. It contains a large amount of digestive fiber, also known as gun cotton. When he was burning, not only did it produce smoke sweeping, and the combustion needs to be more complete. Therefore, it was also the earliest smokeless gunpowder, because the reported speed was 7,300 meters per second. It is more than 10 times that of black powder. Flames are ideal for making propellant for bullets, to propel the warhead forward, because combustion is complete and leaves no residue. Therefore, it will not jam the gun structure. It can be said that it was precisely because of smokeless gunpowder. This made the advent of automatic weapons possible. Gun cotton itself is also very dangerous. It can decompose on its own at room temperature. Release heat. What if the accumulated heat exceeds 180 degrees Celsius? Natural. So when storing, it needs to be soaked in ethanol or water. If stored improperly, all the wetting agent has dissipated. This would lead to catastrophic consequences. What about the Tianjin port explosion in 2015? This is caused by the natural digestion of cotton. Dangerous digestive cotton. It seems to be only related to the military, but it can also create art. We secretly keep a large amount of digestive aids. You can get cotton wool. Fiberglass can be used to make glossy briquette leather. In the film of old-fashioned cameras, you can also see their figures. Add 20 camphor to the PVC foam. It can be made into cerulose. It is a highly malleable material, rich in fiber. This allows it to tightly lock in the pigment. Just like paper, you can vomit blood at will. Cerulose is generally white or transparent. White cerulose. It is estimated to be a substitute for ivory. It can also be made into ping pong balls, guitar picks, and other handicrafts. And colorless and transparent cerulose. It even became the cornerstone of later mulberry leaf animation. Drawing anime characters on transparent cerulose. Place it in front of the painted background. By replacing them one by one, you can combine different backgrounds and characters to realize the use of materials. This greatly reduced the production cost of animation. Among them, the most representative. It's Astro Boy and Snow White. It can be said that without cerulose, at that time, animation was being commercialized on a large scale. It would be difficult to achieve. The world of anime and manga is likely to continue down a certain path. Completely different development paths. Uncles, aunts, and Billy? It's hard to say what it looks like. The years are spent on people's livelihood. It covers both military art and other aspects. Even business has close ties with him. Some people might think of things like hand-ground coffee green. The climate is so big, isn't it? It's still too small. Paper made from cotton linters and flax. It is more flexible and durable than traditional wood pulp paper. It also has better ink absorption. Use this kind of paper to pack it. It can be printed. The the RMB and USD that everyone loves. If government credibility is the soul of today, cotton is the most common physical form of money. The history of human technological development. It is a history of overcoming its own shortcomings. Staying warm has always been one of the most basic human needs. Ancient sites can be found all over the world. The spindle is a testament to humanity's persistent efforts. From bloody animal hides to coarse linen clothing, it is high-purity cellulose for cotton, intertwining the lives of people from all continents. Seed introduction and upgrade of cotton spinning technology. They are all constantly raising the bar for human life. The popularization of New World cotton is not a break in the continuity of tradition. Instead, it's potato, pulling humanity out of the mire an inch more. The warmth of cotton rope is an instinctive desire. The flames of the sausage represent the expansion of ambition. The ink on the paper cannot conceal desire. Another beautiful world is painted on Cerullo. All beautiful and ugly, good and evil, different desires. The same cotton flower,